jungler who does tend to go after a middle matchup, like a Maokai, for instance, if they pick a Maokai up, your AP middle is likely to be without escapes, as a lot of AP carries don't tend to have escapes or only get escapes at level 6, like Ahri, whereas a lot of AD carries do have that extra mobility. Of course, Galen has 90 caliber net, Ezreal has that arcane shift, and so they're able to get away a little bit better. In addition to having that support there, they're going to remain at higher health, would be the ideal. So I really do like that setup. I've actually played with a lot of unusual setups, just theory crafting, and I've actually played them as well, but just in normal. I haven't had a ranked 5s team to try them out, unfortunately, where you go actually 1-3-1 and you actually don't line up with a jungler and your strategy is just to push down. And we've seen that more and more recently because Riot continues to nerf the extra amount that a solo laner will get over a duo laner, for instance. So you can put in, a double, 2-1-2 lane composition as well. Go double AD support in both lane and really zone out the top lane bruiser. Force the jungler to pay attention out there. Force the jungler to come to you. And then if you, work it out right, once you get into lane with that extra person, you can try to control all your jungle buffs, get the red buff and blue buff on whoever it'll be most effective on before you get into lane. And so you'll have that extra advantage early on. You're of course not going to have the map presence of the jungler, not have the ganking potential, but you will have, better lanes overall, at least initially.
Yeah, I like that. I like the thinking. I like the deciding behind it. A couple of quick questions on chat. Let's run through some very quick ones. Do I have a favorite team? If I had to pick one, I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit of a fan. I like Fnatic. Quick fire team. Who would you have to pick, Sotere?
My favorite? I actually like Fnatic as well, and we almost saw him get knocked out of the tournament earlier on, so I was very surprised to see that. I do like Fnatic for kind of their long-standing team composition, but for the longest time my favorite player was Melisson, and now they're not really around very frequently, so I don't know exactly what the strategy or the plan is there and whether they will be filling that support role once real-life things calm down.
Alright, let's take a look. Next questions. Raidcall looks neat, according to Lansropt. Yes, it does. If anybody hasn't installed it yet, go check it out. Free to use, so if you're looking for any sort of voice service or voice application as a replacement or to some of the other ones that you have to pay for, come check this one out. Who is my favorite champion? I think it's difficult to pick one, but it would be between Fizz and Kennen, almost certainly. Sotere, who's yours?
I love Janna. Janna is my favorite champion. Just so much utility, and I don't know what it is about her that I really do like. I like Lulu as well. So Janna and Lulu, probably my top 2 favorite champions, with Nunu coming in a somewhat distant third.
Let's take a look. A couple more. Quick shot. Are you the best looking LOL commentator? That's not for me to decide. So you're welcome to make your choices on the matter, but of course your opinion is your own. Those Gunner glasses, yeah, I scored them up. They're actually MLG ones because of course I am heading to MLG next weekend. First time stateside. Going to be heading to New York City for a LAN. I'm quite over the moon, if I do say so myself. Let's have a look.
They do look very, very neat.
Let's have a look. What else do we have? Mention that Leona and Diana are not bound by blood, implying they are not sisters. So this is just a little bit of chat. Thinking to supply.
There was a question.
Fnatic apparel. It would be greatly appreciated. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get crucified for this. As a shoutcaster, please remember I do remain impartial. Okay, I really do. But that is my mousepad. I concede, that is the mouse pad. And if you're not watching the stream, Sotere, it is a Fnatic pad.
Oh, I am watching the stream, actually. So I saw the big logo come right on up. It's pretty. I can never not watch a stream when I'm co-casting with you, Quickshot, because what would life be without, watching Quickshot in the interim between these great matches?
Let's take a look. What's this? Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment.
Yes.
Sotere, being that you cast North America and a good bit of EU, what is the one thing that you notice is different in terms of playstyles?
I think mainly is the level 1 aggression. A lot of North American teams trying to get an advantage. I think, Team Solo Mid is the, best example of that, where they always try to have a strong level 1 team so they can go ahead and invade, whereas the European teams, even if they have the advantage early on, it seems like they'll kind of forego that, that stage of the game and just get right into the laning, let everyone do what they want in their jungle for the most part. Besides that, everything is becoming, kind of full circle. I think there was a lot greater diversity between the gameplays, especially back at Season 1 championships, for instance. And the biggest thing back then, in my opinion, was, besides a lot of different champion pools, was all the European players had kind of specialized into their roles, where all the North American players had not at that point. And now we've seen, North American players following suit. Everyone kind of plays their one specific role on a team.
Yeah, interesting. I need to cast more North American games. Sadly, with the time zone differences and not really having a firm grounding in terms of the teams or too many organizations, I don't get to cast too many of their teams. And it's definitely something that I would like to do a bit more often. For anyone that's on stream and actually watching, check this out. I have actually just got a buddy coming from I think it's Lanzarote. I don't really know how to say that. I do apologize. So I'm going to accept the friend. It's now been added to my friend list. Studio, what do we think about Team Megashock? It's not Studio. It is in fact Sotere. But I've heard the American accent is a bit difficult to tell apart for Europeans.
Oh man. Yeah, that happens quite frequently. Actually, over on the North American side as well, it happens vice versa. It is hard. We all have the same, what I think is a non-accent. I do like Team Megashock. I've had the opportunity to cast them once or twice before, but that was still kind of in their infancy, so I'm very excited to see them today as well. And I think that question might be a little biased as well. There might be some reasoning that question is being asked, but I do like it. I'm very excited to see them in this up-and-coming game. But how do I like their chances? Pretty good so far. Pretty good, seeing as how they have 5 members to 4 members from the opposition.
It's an interesting question as well when we consider that Team Megashock just recently took a loss in the IPL Elites, if I recall correctly. So Zupix, how do you feel about that? I got a whole bunch of friend requests coming in, so I'm accepting all of those. We've got about 21 people in our little chat group over here in Fnatic Raidcall's channel. If you guys are looking at finding the channel and figuring out how to get you, step number 1, www.raidcall.com. Just getting these friend requests out the way. Download the little application. There's a giant green download button. Once you've actually installed it, all you have to do to find the room is to simply click 133714 up in this little search bar. It'll immediately pull you into the Fnatic group, and then you can just jump yourselves down into the caster chats along with myself and Sotere and everybody else. Nobody else is asking too many questions just yet, so hopefully there's more people on the way. Just to get everybody...
We have had a couple...
What did I miss?
Sorry. We've had a couple of questions about Diana, but I don't think anyone really knows that much about her as of yet. There was a question as to what do you think about her quick shot, support, AD, AP, and someone previously asked, do you think she's going to be a support champion? I already said no, just because they tend not to, release that many support champions. But have you seen that champion sneak peek? It just came out this morning over on the US side.
Yeah, I have actually looked at the little sneak peek, but it doesn't reveal anything other than there's going to be some lore involving Leona. So the implication is that maybe it's going to be another support. If I recall correctly, though, there was a quote from, I think it was Gwinzu or somebody a while ago, saying they only release a handful of supports per year. So maybe it will be
two a year, I think, was their attempt. But I think they've actually done a pretty good job with supports. They released Lulu, who's been played more in every single role other than support, more than she's been played in support, but she's a very viable support. I like her as that role. Leona also, support champion. And I've actually seen people, suggesting that Zyra could be a potentially good support as well, although her role, mainly is for that AP middle damage dealing position, has decent AP ratios, but her ratios aren't off the charts.
All right, guys. I do unfortunately think we have to cut this little chat short. We are in fact here for League of Legends. We are in fact here for the Raidcall Cup number 3, and we have all 5 members of Alternate Attacks in the game lobby. So, guys, the way that this is going to work is we are going to jump into this game very, very quickly. It is going to be Team Megashock taking on Team Alternate. Don't leave the chat group. If you're in Raidcall, don't leave the chat group right now. We will be back, myself and Sotere, to answer a couple more questions, most likely by the end of the cast, depending on how long these games go. So we'll stick around for a little bit after that. Sotere, let's jump back into the caster channel so that we have just a little private room to ourselves, and then we can kick off the game number 3. All right, so I can actually pull up the full screen. I can disable both of these right now, and let's actually pull up the game so we can see that one as well. So myself and Sotere are ready. Let's double check that he's actually joined the channel. There we go. Welcome back, Sotere.
Thank you very much. I am along with you in this channel, and we are getting ready to go